Welcome to One Happy Thing, the podcast where three best-selling novelists, Maddie Dawson, Carrie Schaefer, and Jennifer Mormon, explore the silver linings, bright moments, and everyday magic that inspire a kinder, more creative world. One happy thing at a time.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to One Happy Thing. It's always such a great day when we get to record some podcasts. And I am Maddie Dawson. I'm here with my friends, Carrie Schaefer, who gets to also be Carrie Ann King, and Jennifer Mormon. And they are two best-selling authors, and we love when we get together and get to talk to you. So today, I want to talk about something that I don't know if you guys ever get made fun of for being woo-woo.
Yes.
Yes, Carrie's raising her hand. It's the kind of Jennifer. You're not ever made fun of her.
No, because I'm only hanging out with woo-woo people, or I'm not talking about it to the people that I know.
Yes, exactly, exactly. But sometimes you never know who you can talk to about it. And then you see that little eye roll and everything. So I've decided that there's really 5 woo-woo things that I do regularly that I love. And I just want to be out with those. I want to tell everybody about these are the things that I do. And the friends of mine who aren't into this probably won't even be listening to this podcast because I don't tell them about it. But anyway, so the first one is that I pluck negative thoughts out of my brain. And I put them in a little jar and I close the lid. Whenever I feel like this negative thought, and you know how sometimes they just run on a circle, just one after another, or one sticks with you. You'll be, mowing the lawn or gardening, and then there's that thought again, just popping into your head. There's just this negative thing that won't go away. And I've just started picturing going in and plucking it, just like with a piece of tweezers, and plucking it out. And then I put it in a little jar and I put the lid on it. It's very important to put the lid on it. And mostly it makes it shut up. It's kind of incredible. If it doesn't, I tighten the lid more, I throw the lid into the woods. I go really crazy. But mainly that goes away and I say to it, no, you're handled already. You're not even true in the first place and you have been taken care of. You don't exist. And it works. So then there's the second woo-woo thing that I do.
Wait. I'm going to interrupt you right there because I have to share this thing. It's like Please. Plucking the thought out of your brain with the tweezers. Yes. The thought I had just right now. We have tick season going on where I am, and and the tweezers, and it made me think of the when the tick's on you and you got to pull it out with the tweezers. So anyway, okay, all right.
Yeah, I know. I don't want to be too graphic about it all, but it's not really painful, but it could be. So another thing that I do when things aren't working out the way I want them to work out, like my book isn't getting finished, for instance, I'll say, I can't wait to see how this is going to get fixed. And it's just taking away the control that I have to figure it out. I know deep down it's going to be all right. I have no idea how that's going to work out, but it's going to get fixed. There's a solution that's coming up and I can't plan it. I can't direct it, but I know it's coming. And so I just say, I'm really curious about this, really curious to watch how this all unfolds. It's funny. I was talking to my grandson on the phone. I have a grandson, believe it or not, who's about to graduate from college. I cannot believe this because he's obviously only 2 years old, but there he is. He somehow made it through all these years of schooling. But like a lot of people graduating from college right now, he doesn't know what he's going to do next, so I spend a lot of time talking to him on the phone. We have wonderful conversations. He is not a woo-woo guy at all. He's an engineer, so he's very practical, and I have to kind of tone down a little bit. But he was saying the other night, I know it's going to work out. I know it's going to work out. I just don't know what it's going to be. And I thought that is a brilliant way of looking at this. And that's the way we have to go through life. I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm sure curious to see what it is, because it's all going to unfold in the perfect way. Okay. So my third woo-woo thing, and this I think you two also do, I write things down. This has been super, super important in my life. I write down good things. I write down the things I want to happen as if they've already happened. I keep kind of a journal of things that I'm feeling really happy about. I notice small moments. Knowing I'm going to write things down makes me notice more what is going right. And then when I write them down, it feels like it just reinforces them, and I can go back and read it again. And it just makes me feel uplifted and makes me think, okay, this is gonna really work out. Part of this also can be that I write down problems. If I have something I really want to work out, I'll write, this is something for the universe to do. I'll write that at the top of the page, and then write what I need to happen, and then wait while the universe fixes it for me. So I've told other people about this, and you know what they say? They say, oh, the universe is too busy to pay attention to your little problem. And I say, my universe is not too busy. My universe is always happy to pay attention to my problem and work on it for me. So if your universe isn't doing that, you may need to, get a new universe to be more helpful. Or look at it a different way. Pluck out that other universe and put it in the jar and get a new one going for yourself. So the fourth thing that I really love is that I have a mantra. And when I'm going into a tough situation, like I'm going to be interviewing somebody, or I'm going to be sitting down with my book and I have no idea what I'm going to write about next, I have a mantra. And mantras for me change a lot. I can go back and forth on what I want it to be. But the one that I use the most is bless this situation. And I can always remember that, which is why I use, other people have these long 3-part mantras. I can't ever get in touch with that when I need it. But bless this situation. And the great thing about that mantra is that you don't have to specify what situation you're talking about, because the universe knows which one. And if it gets it wrong and starts working on another situation, that's okay too. It's just bless all my situations. But I don't know why it works, but I've noticed that when I say it, like sometimes I'll say it if an argument is starting to get a little heated or I'm starting to get uncomfortable in a conversation, and I'll say, bless this situation. And it's like it just takes me right to my center and keeps me from like overreacting. I can take a moment. It's often a nanosecond, but even that long reminds me of what I want to have happen, and that I don't know the outcome, but I want the situation blessed. I just feel another presence right there with me. So the fifth thing that I do, and this is my heavy hitter one. This one I discovered during a really, really bad time in my life. I had 2 little kids, and my husband had decided that he didn't want to be married anymore. And I had put him through school, and it was time for me to go back to school. I didn't have a job. He was leaving, and they were 4 and 1. And I was just completely leveled by this. I mean, it was like one of those things, one of those times in life when you just cannot figure out what's going to happen next. And I went to the library, and I got a book that was called Positive Magic. And I read that book, and one night I was sitting, I was trying to fall asleep, and I was worrying and worrying and worrying. And I got up and I went and I sat on our back porch. We had a screen porch. And suddenly I felt like I wasn't meditating in those days, but I remember counting backwards from 10 to 1. And with each number, I would feel calmer and calmer. And then I felt myself being welcomed into a circle of women. And they were all just sitting. I couldn't see their faces, but I could feel the energy of them. And they invited me to come and sit. And it was just exactly what I needed. And that circle of women I can always access from now on. And they were a presence that said, you're going to be okay. Everything is going to work out. I felt like I was in a giant vat of love, just being taken in a way that nobody in my life at that point was really doing for me. And they've come thousands of times since then. You know, when my sister died, when my mother was diagnosed with cancer, when I have those little fears that you get for your kids or grandkids, when you feel like your job isn't really quite right, when your book didn't get accepted, whatever it is, they are there for me, and I just can go there. And I don't know why they showed up. I don't know how I summoned them, but there they were. And so that's pretty woo-woo.
Really woo-woo.
I've never really told anybody until now about those women, because it's funny. It's as though we're sitting around a campfire when I'm there with them. It's dark all around us, but there's just this feeling of a comforting presence. You know, maybe they're my ancestors. I don't know. It'd be interesting to know who they really are. But I hear their voices. Yeah. So do you have anything like that? I know you two are woo-woo.
I got lots of woo-woo.
Lots of woo-woo. I know. I remember some of your woo-woo. That's great.
There's no lack of woo-woo. Maddie, I got to say real quick before we move on that this found its way, well, bits and pieces of what you were just saying found its way into all of your books. But I'm thinking about the one where there's a little magic circle and a spell is cast that goes a little backwards.
Yes.
Which book is that again?
That book is
There's so many.
What is that book? Is it The Magic of Found Objects? I don't think it is.
No,
it's one where the daughter wants to get pregnant.
Yes, it's the one where the daughter wants to get pregnant. Yes, that's the one.
Oh, it's the Heartbreak Bunny one. It's Snap Out of It.
If you all want to hear, a little snippet of the Maddie Magic Circle, but not like this quite.
Right.
It has the support of women all, doing magic in the dark. Anyway, it reminded me of that. And it's fun how little bits of our own life get into our books.
It's true, isn't it? Because the books also are their own magic, in a way. They are just being sent down to us. I went to see Arlo Guthrie one time, and he was talking about that he writes songs. He was writing songs with Pete Seeger, and they would get a cabin together. And he said, and he would be sitting there waiting for songs, and Pete Seeger would be writing away as fast as he could. And he said he realized Pete Seeger sat by the door, and the songs were just coming in through the door, and they couldn't get past him to get over to Arlo, And so it's important to be in the right location for the
yes, to be open to them. So Jennifer, sorry I interrupted. You were going to talk about you have tons of woo-woo. Do you want to share one of your woo-woo things?
Well, I mean, first of all, thank you for sharing all yours, Maddie. I loved hearing this. I love hearing how, we have similarities, but then they're also unique to each person. The things you write down. I also journal write. I call it sometimes free writing or channel writing. And it can be what I'm thankful for. It can be what's on my mind. It can be, sometimes I will write a question in my journal and I will answer it. I mean that sounds strange, but I will write the question like, why is this happening? Or is this a good idea? I mean, they don't have to be super complex. It could also be, why did I cry about that yesterday? And then I just sit with the question for a minute. And then the answer comes to me and I just write it down, and I don't really know what I'm writing. I'm just writing. And then when I read it afterward, I'm like, wow, I've just answered my own question because I do believe everything we need to know is inside of us. We don't always know how to access it, and that can be where you have the community. You've got this circle of women who comes to you when you need extra, and they're there. They're a part of you, Maddie. I mean, that's not the same circle I have. Like, that's yours. And so it's there. And, why they came, how they came is, to me, it doesn't even matter at this point anymore, right? They show up when you need them because you believe in them. and you know how to access it. So, there's so much that we have already, all the answers. It's just talking to other people. And then someone may hear this episode and then go home and say, oh my gosh, like the answer comes to them. But I mean, I have woo. It's very similar. I have things that comfort me during my meditation. I have words that come to me. Then I feel like you said our books are very magical. All of that comes from this more expanded place than I am, which is very woo. And if you're trying to tell somebody, I know many, many writers or creatives say this, I don't even remember writing that, or I don't remember painting that, or because you're in this, to me, it's like an altered state of flow. Yeah. And I think that's really woo. And some people will be like, that's weird, but is it weird? Or are they not doing it and it's weird?
It's interesting to think about, is this coming, as you said, from this place inside us, or is it coming from something else that we're channeling?
But it's the same thing to me.
It's the same thing. Yeah. I think that's true.
And that's a new sort of reality that I've been encountering lately. I spent some time with a really fabulous teacher, Dr. Sue Morter. And what she teaches is that everything is in us and we are everything. So if you're talking about my inner being or the wise universe or whatever, that's me.
Yeah.
This is my latest woo, is trying to get my mind around that, she I love this. She teaches that, you are all that. And then you decide to come into this human body and it compresses and you're going to all the way in. You're like, I'm going to remember. And then you come in and she calls it the splat. and then you splat and your brain's over here and your body's over there and your soul's over here and you don't remember any of it. And so, your life is a journey of putting all those pieces back together and remembering who you are. And so I'm kind of coming into that right now, that this is the mantra. I'm not a splat. I'm that. So I'm kind of, it's a recognizing that you're looking for the wrong things maybe. And so that's my biggest woo, is actually taking a minute to stop and look at what I want to see rather than the other things, because you see what you're looking for, what you expect to see. That's what you get. It's like those tiny little particles that the scientists, that the physicists are studying. They're different when you look at them. They change, they shift. And so we get to kind of create that depending on the energy that we're putting into it. As we come into the day is going to be different based on the energy that I'm bringing to it. So my biggest woo thing lately is just taking time first thing in the morning to make sure I've got my energy, kind of lined up and flowing in the right direction. So
I heard somebody say, whether you think something's going to work or not going to work, you're right. Either way.
Is it Ford? Is that what Ford said?
Well, maybe it was.
It's a version of that, Maddie. He said, either you believe you can or you can't. Both are true.
Yeah,
you're right, or something like that. It's
that's right. That's right.
If you can think you can do, it's not even thinking. I feel like it's believing and knowing. I know I can do this, or I know I can't do that, and both are true. It just depends on which one I decide to go with,
and which one. It's a deep kind of knowing. I mean, I realized that when I was talking to my grandson, he's freaking out about his immediate choices, but this deep down, he knows he's going to be fine, and that was such a comfort to realize that. Yeah. That's something amazing. You can depend on. Well, I hope our readers will let us know the woo-woo things they do, either around other people or in secret, the things that you keep to yourself because you don't want anybody to laugh at you. Yeah. And you can write to us at onehappythingpodcast@gmail.com. And we will put information in our show notes as well about everything that we've talked about here. And please keep in touch with us, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.
Thanks for tuning in to One Happy Thing. We hope today's episode brought a little extra joy your way. If you loved it, help us spread happiness by subscribing and leaving a review. And join us next time for One Happy Thing.
Yeah.